This week on Down to Earth, Congolese rebels swap weapons for tractors and return to the communities they once left.
They killed our parents, our brothers, but we've managed to forget.
A cooperative farm that blends reconciliation and hard labour. Yesterday's enemies work hand in hand.
These are people who have been reconverted and now contribute to the economic development of the region.
But the financial returns are taking too long. The farm now competes with the allure of a gold rush.
If things improve at the farm, I'll quit my work here at the gold mine.
This week we're down to earth in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This land around me in the district of Ituri was not too long ago a battleground between rival forces in a bitter and gruesome conflict. Today it's home to this rather original cooperative farm that's trying to reconcile former fighters both with each other and with the community that was once a victim of their atrocities.
I look after the goats here. My name is Gideon Tekele. I find this job easy. I like it.
Herding goats is a long way from Gideon's former life as a rebel fighter. When he was 18, he brandished arms against his enemies, mostly fellow Congolese, people like Samuel who also fought in the conflict, but for the opposite side. Today, the pair are responsible for all these goats, a job that demands they work together.
It wasn't easy to leave my old life behind, because we caused a lot of bloodshed. I was haunted by the image of blood. It wasn't easy to forget, but in the end, I found a way to move on.
Our leaders gave us formal orders to strike against our brothers, to fight against them. We did it against our will. Before, Gideon and I were enemies, but now we're friends. We're together, we work together, we eat together.
It's a stark contrast from their years as rival combatants a little more than a decade ago. Between 1999 and 2003, the northeast of DRC became the country's bloodiest corner. Child soldiers, mass rapes and massacres were common as part of an inter-ethnic slaughter between the Hema and Lendu tribes in a bid to control the region's vast mineral wealth. As many as 60,000 people died at the hands of militia groups. 500,000 were displaced. Only now are rebel leaders being brought to justice. Today, this pilot farm is one of 10 in the east of DRC, set up to erase the bloody past. The idea to disarm and reintegrate some of the tens of thousands of former combatants.
The farm spreads over an area of 500 hectares. Our activity are agro-pastoral. Agro is the agricultural side. We grow crops and fruit and vegetables for the market. The pastoral is raising livestock. We have cows, goats, sheep, pigs and chickens.
Funded by the state and other development agencies, the project known as LODA recruited 100 people from 20 kilometres around the farm. Some of the participants now live part-time on the site, like this tractor driver who works the field several times per week.
You sleep here with the family or on your own?
Much care was taken when allocating these shelters.
The idea is to mix participants from different ethnicities, for example, a Hema next to a Lendu, to create a peaceful coexistence, a reconciliation between different ex-fighters.
Since the project first began in 2012, the participants have lived and worked together in peace.
It's an original idea to see an ex-fighter who took arms, who in the past used arms to harass, pillage, and steal money, to abandon all that for the sake of the farm. These are people who have been reconverted and now contribute to the economic development of the region.
Once a month, the participants come together to discuss the direction of the farm. Of the 100 members, only 50 are former combatants. The other half is made up of civilians, people who have never laid hands on an arm.
This is a question for everyone. Anyone can respond, either the former fighters or members of the community. How have the two groups been able to work together?
At the beginning it was difficult because we felt that the former combatants minimized the importance of the members of the community because they knew the project was originally created for them.
The goal of the farm was to live in peaceful cohabitation. We have a sense of fraternity here. Everything's going well. I'm going to forgive them. Yeah, why not? Because we were created to collaborate.
But for others, it's harder to forgive the former perpetrators, those who have never been punished for their acts.
They killed our parents, our brothers, our sisters were raped. That really caused a lot of pain in our minds. When we crossed paths with someone who fought us, if they walked by or stayed near us, it wasn't easy. But with the collective work, we've managed to forget.
At 6 a.m. on another day, the spirit of the farm is in full swing. Twice a week, the participants are obliged to work these collective fields, including Gideon, who spends time here before taking care of the goats. Last year, 7 tons of corn was sold. For now, no one here is paid for this work. Instead, they're given their own parcel of land to cultivate, from which any profit is theirs.
Being a part of the militia was much easier than working here in the farm. Back then we roamed in the forest, we lived by stealing from everyone we met. But this is dignified work that I'm doing. It takes a lot of energy and effort, but at least it is something useful in society.
Gideon survives from the sales of his cauliflowers while he waits for the much larger economic potential of the farm to kick in. Others, however, are looking for quick cash and they're finding it elsewhere. Several kilometres away at this typical Congolese gold mine. In just 3 months, thousands of workers have carved into the earth at random. Workers like Germain, who is also a former fighter and vice president of the Loader farm. But it's here that he makes a better living, $200 in just a few months.
I'm washing the gravel to search for gold. I'm continuing to work at the farm, but to have some money to meet my needs. I also come here to work, to be able to pay for things like my children's school fees. If things improve at the farm, I'll quit working here at the mine.
His wife Judith is also a former combatant and a member of the farm. The pair met during the conflict. She was one of 20 women fighting alongside 1,000 men. When we return to their village, they tell us post-war life has been difficult and the farm has so far failed to live up to expectations in the 2 years since it began.
I know it's still the beginning, but for the moment the farm has not brought us money or anything concrete. But I don't really like that my husband works in the gold mine, because it doesn't have a certain future. At least the work on the farm, even if it hasn't produced much yet, it has a future. It will start to produce.
Judith is not the only one to believe in the farm's potential. Today back at Loader there are 2 important visitors. Representatives from the Colombian government who are here to see how it all works.
Thank you very much for having us here. We're totally sure that we're going to learn a lot from you and the work that you do here. and congratulations for all the things that you have done here. Thank you very much.
Colombia is in the midst of its own reconciliation efforts, reintegrating former FARC fighters who have voluntarily disarmed from the guerrilla force.
We are here to visit the farms because this is the methodology that we saw that we could use in Colombia. And we're going to do also a pilot in Colombia in a region by the Pacific coast that it has really similar conditions to DRC.
First stop in the tour, the latest project, a fish farm. A delay means the fish won't be ready until the end of the year. But the Colombians are not here for technical expertise. Their main interest lies elsewhere.
The most important thing for us is how the community and the participants of the demobilization process can work together, can make decisions together, and can create an income from all these activities.
A Congolese team has also been sent to Colombia to take note of what they do best. 2 different conflicts in 2 different countries, but the same goal, to bring together people who have suffered for too long apart.